for them. A body just can't hold all this beauty. Tell them they only wish they had hills and valleys like the earth. They can criticize, but they will never give birth to the love that rests in your breast. They will never see the life in your hands, and you can never expect them to understand.
My grandmother is a poet, and she taught me how to write poetry. My grandfather's a historian. My father's a teacher and a storyteller. And so it's like, you know, even though I didn't come directly from hip-hop, I come from the art of storytelling, and that's why I was attracted to hip-hop in the first place.
Desdamona is a poet and a singer. She calls herself an MC, and you'll find out in this 3-minute egg piece from her CD release party for her third album. It's an all-spoken word CD called Inkling, and we're talking with Desdamona about how she blends her musical and her poetic influences and breaks gender barriers on this edition of 3-Minute Egg.
Say it from your heart. Not with book knowledge, quoting your college professor. Profess your feelings. Do not fee we earthlings for the wrongdoings of some man that we poets can never name or give a positive identification of. Who really should we blame when everything remains the same? Do we just want to keep it that way because we feel safe in our place?
I tried to get in on the hip-hop scene, but it was very like tight-knit, and so somebody told me about open mics, and they're like, you could get on that way. So what happened was I would take things that I had written as songs, and then I would perform them at open mics. A lot of the first like poetry that I did has little hooks in it, little like you can hear the hip-hop influence in it for sure, and it's sort of then kind of melded together into a combination of the two.
Competition extinct, your career's on the brink. Ain't none who can match the inside I ink. And when you think you're on top, that's when the quicksand sink. So I keep pushing to attach the missing link. My whole heart's in this, so that's all I give. I ain't in it for the ego, you want some other shit. But don't you know who I am? No, who are you, kid? You so baby fresh, you got a brand new kicks. And this pro kid's been straight brand in the biz. So that anyone about gotta reach some higher twins. So you don't even understand your time and I'm like, you forget. So I see it as my duty to take you straight on this summer.
When I got with Carnage, we started to just get more opportunities, and I think part of it is the spectacle of it all, of like him and I, we seem like the odd couple and all this, you know. In the beginning for me, it was a really tight-knit local community. If you weren't from here and people didn't know who you weren't gonna just be welcomed right into the circle. But becoming a poet and getting, I felt instantly accepted as a poet by certain people, which, you know, so that helped. But then that sort of opened the door, and it was like more acceptable. Oh, okay.
Percussion, combustion, rhythm malfunction, death of the funk, rebirth is recreation, consumption of the bad food at the soul luncheon. I've been waiting for these hip-hop kids to say something. On occasion, I catch the accountable persuasion. He's kind of few and far between. Some get so sliced their anemic emo egos bleed. Funk be the friction between speaking lyric sheets.
Since people expected nothing from me, it would be easy for me to come in. If I really worked on what I did and brought something good to the table, it would be easy for me to take people by surprise because they're not going to expect anything from me. So if I really bring them something, it's even like, whoa, like, I wasn't expecting that.
So I went down to the lords of the underground, but they told me not to bust a rhyme. They said, common sense will tell you that it's just not the right time.
The poetry, I'm in a funny place right now where I'm trying to figure out where it's actually going, because I've kind of stepped away from it so much, because even the poetry that's been on my last two projects is kind of older stuff. I don't know what a 40-year-old hip-hop artist looks like. I mean, there are some out in the world, but I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be that old lady sitting in the chair up in the front, in the chair rapping.
They across the stage like I'm so cool.
The people want the fresh dance, give them the news.
I'm a phenomenal mama,